Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I am here with one of my favorite videos to film and one of the only things I've been somewhat consistently filming and posting on my page, which is my monthly TBR. We are picking all the books for July of 2026. I already have several books picked out, so let's kind of go over those first. So, for my in-person book club, normally we read nonfiction. But especially these last 4 months, this spring, we have been reading really heavy books. And so we decided that we're gonna do a fiction summer. So in June, we read Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. That was a wild ride. And we have decided in July, we are going to read Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I have read this book before, but I read it like 3 years ago, and I listened to it on audio, and so I said I was fine reading it again because I never read the second one, which is Parable of the Talents, I think. And I've been wanting to, but I knew that I needed to reread the first one first, and again, since I listened to it on audio, a lot of times I don't keep that in my brain as much. So we are reading Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler for my in-person book club. For the Buzzword readathon hosted by Books and Lala here on YouTube, the title prompt for the month of July is occupations, jobs, careers. This is kind of a stretch, but I had a really hard time finding something I could read. So I picked The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. Because Empress, you could be a poet, you could be an empress. Both of those can be occupations. This is a romantasy book. This is an arc of it. It came out in January. I don't remember what this is about, so I'm going to read real quick. It says, Wei Yin must kill her husband. Balanced on a knife's edge, she must craft a deadly poem to end his life before he ruins her country. But in order for it to work, it must be written with love. So it's drama, romantasy. It sounds like, I think the magic in this and possibly the combat is based on poetry. And that just sounds really interesting and really different. And I want to read it. It's also off of my shelves, and I try to pick, for every title prompt, I try to pick something off of my TBR because I am trying to shrink my TBR, because instead of shrinking, it keeps growing. No matter how many books I read, I seem to bring more books in. So for the Buzzwordathon, we'll be reading The Poet Empress. Next, the books I have planned are for one of my favorite times of the year. It is Summerween, which is a readathon hosted by Gabby Reads here on YouTube. It is a way to bring the spooky vibes of Halloween into the summer. And it is, again, a week-long reading challenge. It starts this upcoming Friday, so July 3rd, it runs through July 9th. There are 5 prompts, which I will put up here. And basically, you try to pick books that fulfill these prompts. A lot of the books I've picked could double up, but I like to pick one book for each prompt, just because I like to. Summerween, I can usually get a lot more read than I can in Winterween because I'm not working. I will be busy the very last day of Summerween, so I'm going to try to get all of my stuff completed by next Thursday, which would be the 8th. And maybe just do a check-in on the 9th, because I'm booked all day. And I'm also going to try to do vlogs, and so I usually do 2 days, and then 3 days. So look for vlogs about Summerween coming out next week. But as far as the books go, I'm going to kind of do the prompts out of order because I have 3 that I know that I want to read, and then I have some choices for the other ones. So for the first one, read a book at night or in the dark. I gotta get my book out because I can't remember. I gotta get my journal. I will be reading What Feeds Below by Tatiana Schlotterban. I'm not sure how to say her name. I apologize. She also wrote What Lovely Skin and The Mean Ones. I've not read either of those. This is a young adult horror about 2 friends. There's these caves and these friends take people down into the caves. One of the friends wants to go farther than anyone has before, and the other friend is like, meh, I don't want to, but they do. It's kind of like, I've heard it described as The Descent, and another movie. I can't remember what else it was compared to, but The Descent scares the heck out of me. That is one of the only movies I saw as an adult that gave me nightmares. I am very claustrophobic. I'm very scared of the dark. I'm very scared of creepy crawlies that may be creeping and crawling in the dark in the caves. So I requested this from NetGalley, and very graciously they sent me a digital copy. So since it's on my Kindle, I will be reading it at night or in the dark because it's easier to do Kindle stuff with no lights because the backlighting. The next prompt is actually prompt number 4, and it's to read a book with pink on the cover. I will be reading Tradwife by Saratoga Schaefer. This book, I can't remember, oh, it came out in February. This is another ARC copy. 4 times a year, my library does an event where we can go. It's called the Book Buzz. You can go and they talk about 24 upcoming books, and then at the end we get ARCs. And this is one that I picked. I think I got this one in March though. Basically, Tradwife, you are following our main character, Camille. She is a tradwife on social media, but she cannot get pregnant. That's the one thing that she needs to fulfill her destiny of being a tradwife and making a bunch of money. And so she finds this weird well and makes a wish and ends up making a deal with a demon and has a demon baby, I think. Sounds wonderful. I've heard great things about it. I've been wanting to read it, and I was so excited when I saw that it had pink on the cover. It's looking more red in the viewfinder, but I promise it is pink. Something just hit my eye. So, for a book with pink on the cover, I'll be reading Tradwife. The last one that I know that I want to read is a book under 250 pages, and I will be reading William by Mason Coyle, I think is how you pronounce his name. This is about a guy, Henry. He is an engineer. He builds this robot named William, and then I think William gets pushed to the side and doesn't want to be anymore, so he probably goes on a rampage. I don't really know, but I've been wanting to read it. The cover is so creepy because if you look, there's William right there. Ugh. This one is, yeah, it's under 250 pages. It is 213. I got this back in on spring break, I think, when I went to visit my mom. So I've been wanting to read this one too. If I have a chance to read another book, like if I get all 5 of these done and then have more, I also have Black Flame by Gretchen Felker Martin. This one is less than 200 pages. It says a cursed film, a haunted past, a deadly secret. Okay, apparently an exploitation film was destroyed in a fire, but 50 years later it has been recovered, and they're trying to restore it, and obviously something happens. This is another ARC that I got from my library. This came out last August in 2025, but I've had it for a while and I want to read it. And so if I finish William and I have time to read another book for that prompt, I'm going to read this. Now, the last 2 prompts, read a horror or thriller book and read an author that is new to you. I have 4 books that I'm trying to decide between for those 2 prompts. So I'm going to tell you about the books, and then I want you to tell me which ones should I read. I can pick 2 of them. I may have time to read all 4 of them, but I definitely need to pick 2. So the first one is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. This is about a mother and her daughter. They live kind of in this isolated area, and mother takes in visitors and takes care of them, but the visitors never leave because they're eaten. They're cannibals. But one day a visitor comes and has a connection with mother that's unlike the other visitors, and she stays and has the same tendencies as our main character, Margot, and Mama. Sorry, Mama, not Mother. So I've been wanting to read this for a while. I got this back at Christmas during the hardcover, Barnes & Noble hardcover sale. So I want to read that. I also have Cruelty Free by Caroline Glenn. This is about an actress. She was a huge movie star. Her daughter was kidnapped or disappeared. Nothing ever came of it. Decades later, she has come back to Hollywood. Now that she's a disgraced actress, she's come back and wants to have like a skincare line. And the cover, you can't really see, but it's like got some gunk on it. I'm thinking this may be similar to The Substance, the movie The Substance, which I really liked that movie. Okay, sorry, my dad called me and I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about cruelty-free. While I was on the phone with my dad, I noticed on the back that Ainsley Hogarth has a blurb. She wrote Mother Thing, which was a 5-star read for me. I love that book. And then some other big names. So, I want to read this. I really don't remember what I've said about this. I think it's going to be like The Substance. I like The Substance. Should I read this? Okay, the next one I have, Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. This is about two sisters in 1887. One of them, named Sarah, is very unwell, and so Lucy is trying to keep her in their house and not having to go to like an insane asylum. And I think this might also be about cannibalism. I'm not sure. I believe it is sapphic. I'm pretty sure. I think all three of these might be sapphic or have sapphic parts to them. I'm not sure. But I've heard good things about this. I love the cover, and I've never read anything by Joanna Van Veen. I know that she just came out with Bone of My Bone. My mom read that and really, really liked it. So this is another option. And then the last option, for now, I have a ton of other books, but I had to get it down a little bit, is Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. I think that's how you say his last name. This is got cool sprayed edges on the end. This is like a medieval horror about a knight and a girl. It has to do with the Black Death and possibly demons. A disgraced knight finds an orphaned girl, and her town has been decimated by the Black Plague. So that also sounds very, very good. Medieval horror, something I've never read before. Sounds very interesting and very different. So, out of these 4 books, I need to pick 2 of them. And I just don't know which to read. So, which do you think I should read for Summerween? I may have a chance to read all of them. I might be able to get to read all of these books during Summerween because I don't have to work. We don't have basketball or anything else. We have 4th of July. But until the 9th, the last day of Summerween, I don't really have plans. Like, I have some appointments and stuff. But anyway, what should I read? Please help me. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick... I'm trying to think. Oh, no! Duh. I gotta pick my 12 picks for 26. I was like, there's another book that I'm missing. Let me find my spinner wheel. I deleted some of my apps, and so now I can't find where things are. Okay, 12 picks for 26. I'm editing it because I'm not done with A Steeping of Blood yet, but I am reading it, and I should finish it today or tomorrow. So I'm taking that off of the wheel because that's not going to be a choice because I've already read it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. We're going into month 7. We have 8 left. We've read 4. I really need to get on reading more of these. Okay, so let's see what we're going to read. Eventually, I'm going to post the video about this, which is 12 books that I want to read in the year of 2026. Okay, Page Boy. There is something sticky on this book, and it was gross. Okay, Page Boy, which is a memoir by Elliot Page. Oh yeah, see, there was a sticker there, and now it's sticky. I got this book, gosh, a year and a half ago, maybe more. I can't remember, but I love Elliot Page. I think he is an amazing actor, and I love his story. I've heard good things about his book, and I want to read it. So, Page Boy. Yeah, again, this is about Elliot Page, and I believe it's his life, like getting started acting and then slowly realizing that he is non-binary possibly, and then now a trans man. I don't really know what all is in this book, but I've had it, I want to read it. So this is our 12 picks for 26, which, as I was saying earlier, soon I should have a video out about that. I filmed a whole video about it back in December, have not edited it yet, but basically it's 12 books off of my bookshelf that I want to read in the year of 2026, because 26 books seems too many. Because a lot of people do 26 for 26. That was too much. 12, that's one a month, which in theory was going to work, but has not worked. So anyway, there's that. Okay, so a bunch of these books are going to be read in 1 week. So really, I have 3 planned right now. I'm going to start by picking 3 books from my TBR jar, which will bring us high, because let's see, we have 7, 8. We have 8 picked right now, but again, 5 of those will be read in 1 week. And so if I have 3, that'll be 11. I might do 4. I don't know, because I really like the drawing part. We'll just see. Also, I have acquired some new books because it is my birthday month, and so I did put some more slips in here. Oh well, it is what it is. So if you do not know, this jar is filled with books that I own, but also books that I want to read that I don't own. So it's kind of a mix of everything. There are some Kindle Unlimited books in here that I put in when I had Kindle Unlimited. I had deleted. I had unsubscribed from Kindle Unlimited because I wasn't using it that much, but for Prime Day they had a deal that you could get 3 months for free. So I do have Kindle Unlimited right now, so if one of those gets pulled, I can read it. And if it doesn't, then I won't. Okay, I'm trying to put my hand on the top because a bunch of them keep falling out. Because it's so full, because I can't stop buying books. Okay. We Who Will Die. What is this? I'm not sure. Okay, yes, that's by Stasia Stark. Let's see. That was on Kindle Unlimited, which is why I put it in there. Let's see if it still is. It is! Okay, so I will be reading this. It's about vampires and gods and a competition. She's trying to be selected for the Emperor's Elite Guard. It's a romantasy. That's all I know. It's part of a series. I don't think the second one is out yet, but We Who Will Die. Okay, so we'll pick that. Always good to get Kindle books. Also, I just bought like a Kindle stand and a page turner so I can stand my Kindle up and read it while I'm watching TV and not have to like hold it. So I'm really into my Kindle right now. So yes, anything I can do to read on my Kindle, I'm gonna say yes to. All right, we're gonna pick another one. Okay, this is just one. It felt like 2, so, but it wasn't. This is They Both Die at the End. Okay. Okay. Oh, I gotta take the sticker off. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is a young adult, I believe, young adult book. So this is a world where you find out when you are going to die. Let's just read the back, because I don't know how to describe it. On September 5th, a little after midnight, Death Cast calls Mateo Torres and Rufus Empaterio to deliver some bad news. They're going to die in less than 24 hours. Mateo and Rufus are total strangers, but for different reasons, they're both looking to make a new friend on their end day. The good news is there is an app for that. It's called Last Friend, and through it, Rufus and Mateo meet up for one final epic adventure to live a lifetime in a single day. So basically, there's this company that tells you exactly, it calls you the day you're gonna die. And these 2 boys, what I just read, these 2 boys become friends and they're both gonna die at the end. I've heard really, really good things about this. One of my best friends read it. She really, really liked it. I've had it for a while. I need to take the sticker off, but I'm excited to read this. Okay. So we got a couple of young adults. We got some nonfiction. We got another one. Let's see what this one is. Okay, this one is No Exit. I'm not going to read it. One, because that is a winter book and it is July, which is the hottest month of the year. So I don't usually like care about that, but I just don't want to read that in July. Also, that is one of my 12 picks for 26. And so I don't want to read that right now because I'm already reading a different 12 picks for 26. So let's pick a different one. No Exits by Taylor Adams, by the way. I read one of his other books, The Last Word. I read that March? I think in March or April. It was pretty good. I liked it. Okay. I got William, which I'm already going to be reading, but I'm going to keep this out. So, William is the book that I'm going to be reading for Summerween. That is under 250 pages. So, clearly I did not go through and pick some of these out before. I need to clean out my jar again. I always do. Okay. The Nine Eyes of Lucian. Lucian? I'm not sure. Let me get it. It's up here. Okay. This is The Mighty Nine, The Nine Eyes of Lucian by Madeline Rue. This is a Critical Role book about Molly Mock. He was a tiefling in campaign 2 of Critical Role. I'm pretty sure Madeline Rue wrote Tusk Love, which is also like a Critical Role book. It's from the campaign 2. It's like a joke book, but they made it into a real book. It was really good. I gave it 5 stars. Okay, so basically this is about Molly Mock, Lucian, his origin story and how he met the Mighty Nine. Maybe it's not Lucian. Maybe it's not Molly Mock. But that looks like Molly Mock. Lucian. Is his name Lucian Molly Mock? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll be reading this. I love Critical Role. My husband and I are very, very far behind. We have watched like 2 episodes of Campaign 4. We haven't finished 3. But I love the characters. Campaign 2 might be my favorite. I don't know. I really like Vox Machina. I really like the Mighty Nine. So I don't know. But I got this at my library sale. So it cost me $3 instead of a lot more than that. $28.99. My husband was walking behind me and I didn't see this, but he did. And he goes, "You're probably gonna want that." And I said, "Yes, I will." So that's exciting. Yay. Okay, so we got a little bit of fantasy. We got a little bit of horror. We're gonna pick one more because, again, I like this. And, you know, if I don't get all of them read, I don't get all of them read. But it's fun to pick them and have the fate decide what I'm gonna read. Stormfront. Okay, that is a Harry Dresden book. And it's also right here. This is the first Dresden Files book. Harry Dresden is a wizard, but like a police officer or something. A paranormal investigator, but a wizard. It's kind of like adult Harry Potter. Everyone told me when, like years ago, if I like Harry Potter, I would like the Dresden Files because it's adult Harry Potter. I have listened to half of this book many years ago. It is narrated, the audiobook is narrated by James Marsters, who plays Spike in Buffy. Buffy is my all-time favorite show forever and ever and ever, and I love Spike. The audiobook was really, really good. I just ran out of time and wasn't able to finish it before I had to return it. And then I saw this at my library sale and it was $1, so I picked it up because I think that I'll like it. I may immersively read this one, so I may get the audiobook again just because I really, really liked the audiobook, and do an immersive read, which is where you listen to the audiobook while you're reading with your eyeballs. I don't know, we'll see. But I also like that this is a nice little size. We have 2 basketball tournaments this month, so I will be at basketball games. I like to have small books or books on my Kindle to read between games because it's easier than carting around a giant chonker of a book. So that's a good size. I like that. Wow, I just picked a lot of books. I have a lot of books. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, even though I did it to myself. So I can't really complain because it is my own fault. Okay, we're gonna put these back here. These are my slips of paper. That's where they hide. You can't see them anymore, but Baymax is right here. Now we're gonna pick this up. Let's try to get this at least a little bit more, less crazy. Holy cannoli. It's been a long time since I picked up this many books. Especially for a TBR. And they're not stacked properly. Like, totally could stack these a different way. Yes, I gotta use my chin. I feel like Gus Gus the mouse in Cinderella when he's trying to get all the corn. Okay, so these are all the books. Possibilities. Again, 4 of these, I'm only gonna read 2 of the 4, unless I have time to read all of them. Maybe I'll read all of these books. I don't know. I will, you know, be at tournaments. And again, next week's Summerween, so in theory, a lot of those will be read in that week. And once I finish A Steeping of Blood, which I will either tonight or tomorrow, I have nothing else to read. So I have plenty of time to read all of these books. Whew. Yeah. Anyway, please tell me which of the books I should choose for Summerween. The horror thriller book and the new to me author. So we have The Lamb, Cruelty Free, Between Two Fires, and why did I already forget the last one? Oh, Blood on Her Tongue. So which of those should I read? I gotta pick 2 of them. And I just don't know which ones to book. So now I want to know, have you read any of these books and what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.